Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. With me, King's Ransom. We are here in the Pawns Guild again, or still. Still is probably a better description. We just came back from the Everfall, got all these pawns here, we're hanging out. We're going to go ahead and turn in that quest to Barnaby and basically just tell him about the creepy glowy light and his
depths,
tentacle monster infestation that he has going on in the Everfall.
In truth, even we pawns know precious little of the Everfall. I can say with utmost certainty, though, the light you speak of is newly come. We cannot know if this small aberration will give rise to great calamity hence, but the chance enough is called to take action. We shall redouble our efforts here, and keep vigilant for further signs of change.
So that's heartening. He doesn't know if that's going to cause a great calamity in the future. You know, so there's that. That's nice. No, so that's all we got to do now. That's kind of the end of our story missions that we have for the time being. And now when we try to leave,
The Duke's castle, I'd warrant.
the game conveniently gives us another task.
Are you the Arisen? I bring
Sir
His
Duncan.
Grace has judged your feat in slaying the Hydra, most laudable. To honor your noble works, you are hereby welcome to the Worm Hunt.
Alright, so it looks like we don't actually get to talk to the Duke or meet with him or present him the Hydra head in person. At least we don't get to meet with him yet. But he is impressed,
You may now accept orders from Sir Maximilian.
and we're
Captain
officially invited to
of the
join the hunt for the dragon. So Sir Maximilian
Bring this
will now
ring
give
to
us...
Sir Maximilian outside the castle gate.
Yep, so he'll give us some
He
new
will
instructions,
instruct
some
you
new
further.
missions that we
The
can work on.
document confers the status of hunter upon you. Carry it on your person, always.
Cool, and then I'm going to go and just skip that. He just is running away from us. So, that has been accomplished, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now, let's go back in here. So, let's see. I believe... There's the Eternal Fairy Stone, Port Crystal... Ah, here. Wakestone in Other. So I'm going to move this back from Lucy, who's been holding it, to myself, Mina. That is the Wakestone. Wakestones will bring the dead back to life, also known as Reaper's Scorn. We had 2 fragments we obtained from this guy. He was seeking them out.
Gathered enough?
There's a lot of people talking on the screen. He was seeking them out to bring back his dead son.
Perhaps with those, my son.
But he never actually acquired the 3rd piece. He never assembled a full Wakestone. We found a 3rd piece in the Everfall, so we're going to go ahead and use it right here and assist the son by bringing him back to life. Wakestones are pretty uncommon in the game. They're fairly difficult to come by, at least, you know, early on in the game. Later in the game, you can get them in great quantity. And you can also buy them for a very high price, but again, later we'll have enough money that it won't be that big of a concern. So, you know, people, maybe you want to hang on to them early on in the game. I don't know, I have no real qualms about using Wakestones for things like this. So you went and used it, accomplished the quest here.
Words cannot express my thanks, sir. I owe you more than I can ever hope to repay. You've returned my son to me. 'Tis the Maker's work you do, sir. The world is truly blessed to have you, Arisen.
So they're pretty happy now, and that's the end of that quest. For now, that we'll be interacting with that guy some more later, I believe. And with that, I'm going to run back into the main square. We do need to go talk to Sir Maximilian. He will give us our next set of story-related missions, our quests for the critical path of this game. I'm going to go and talk to Caxton here and sell a bunch of stuff real quick now. I did a quick check before I started up the recording, and it looks like pretty much all of our meat and berries and things, I guess not all, but a lot of it rotted. So you can see, sour beefsteak sells for 1,500 gold each per piece, and I have 6 of those. So that is tremendous. That's amazing. But then we go down here, and these rotten foods sell for next to nothing. Rotten beefsteak, 12 gold. So definitely worthwhile to let them sour before selling them. It looks like nobody else has anything. definitely a good thing to let them sour if you can. But, you know, if there's a fine line between letting them sour and I'm not going to mess with my equipment right now. Between letting them sour and then letting them rot on accident. So we're going to return to the inn here. I'm going to rest at the inn.
Have your pick. Any you
Please.
like.
There we go. Let's actually check our skills really quick. See if there's any new things here. Ah. Ha ha ha. There is a new round of spells that we can learn. Looks like no new augments. And Lucy and Mina are the same rank in this class. This vocation. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and learn... We have some new elemental spells here. Another fire, ice, and thunder spell. Combustion, a wall of flame that will ignite enemies. It does not do a bunch of damage, but it does ignite creatures very easily, which is good. The burning does damage over time, so that's good. Frigger, giant spire of ice. That's actually, I think, a more useful ice spell than the one that we currently have, which is Frazzle. And then Brontide, a whip-like bolt of lightning capable of damaging foes. Also pretty useful. And then there's a bunch of status effect spells. So I think we've had all of these previously. But anyway, you can blind foes, you can silence foes, you can blind foes in an area. Grapnel is like a targeted attack. It fires off towards an enemy. These other two, Silentium and Blearing, drop little spots on the ground that will cause those statuses. We have Fireboon. I'm okay with that for now. I think I'm going to get Levitate for myself as a core skill. And I think similarly I'm going to learn Frigger. And I think Brontide as well. I don't want to spend too much discipline. I feel like I spent a whole heck of a lot there with those spells, but I am planning on staying as the mage class for a while, so might as well have some decent, useful spells if I can. So I'm going to go ahead and equip Frigger there, and then Brontide down here. So I have some spells for Lucy. She has an extra slot, so there's no reason to swap out the ice spell. She'll cast both. Whatever, I'm okay with that.
Have your pick.
And then with that, we're going to rest. And we're going to stay until morning, I guess.
But where? This pawn cannot say.
Okay. No real updates or anything there. So here's an escort quest that is available. So Mercedes would like for us to escort her from here, this area, Grand Soren, to the Shadow Fort, which we don't really know where that is at the moment. So I'm not going to bother taking that quest. Those are fairly difficult. Also, it looks like maybe Mason has a new quest for us.
Hail, friend. Been some time. Trust you've been well? But come, if it was idle twittering you'd wanted, you'd have sought a prettier bird than this old crow. Crows bring tidings, most oft grim. Me, I bring you work. Salvation again. Now there's word they've a man inside the castle.
Salvation, oh. Wonder if this is related to Dark Arisen or something. I don't recall this quest. And also, we don't know anything about Salvation just yet.
If that be true, he'll have need to leave the castle eventually to meet with the others. All I ask is that you keep watch. I only have need of your eyes. Follow them and see what business has them out. Skulking about is more my line than yours, I know. But pray, I do it myself, but there's aught has me away from Grand Soren for a time. Tell your findings to the innkeep. We have an arrangement. Tread carefully, friend.
Okay, interesting. So he gave us a mission to go shadow somebody. Somebody who is going to be leaving the castle at some point.
We don't deal in the like of grimoires here.
So Camellia here, she is just talking about the Salamet's Grimoire, another quest that we picked up earlier to go find a magic book.
We're in honest business. Those magic tomes are oft forgeries, else stolen property. Oi, there's a notion. Why not ask a thief? They're more like to have it than honest folk like me, I'll warrant. Take all the time. Do come again.
So she recommends that we go explore a thief's den and see if there's a thief that has the grimoire. And that's actually, you know, pretty sound advice. We'll deal with that a bit more later. For now, I do want to go acquire those, whatever those orders are that Sir Maximilian has for us. Let's see. Also, I can show off the new spells that we just picked up. Let's see. Here's my levitate. Whee! Kind of lets me levitate, as you might expect from that skill. Useful for some platforming in the game. Also useful for preventing yourself from taking too much fall damage, because you can hop down off of something that's high and then levitate a little bit to kind of lessen your momentum so you don't take as much damage when you land. This right here is Sir Maximilian.
Ah, Arisen. My men have told me much of you. I have expected your visit. I am Sir Maximilian Eisenstern, captain of the hunt, so named by His Grace Duke Edmund Dragonsbane. I beg your forbearance whilst I detail what is expected of you in the hunt. The worm hunt license you carry permits the bearer to undertake the most vital of tasks. Those missions given by Duke Edmund himself. Of late, all our will is focused on learning of and defending against the wicked dragon.
So we're just going to be assisting them generally with whatever efforts they have going on right now. And by they, I mean, you know, the worm hunter, the Duke, his army, all these people. Whatever they're working on, they're trying to learn about the dragon, learn how to find it, how to track it, how to fight it, how to defend against it. Does it have any patterns? Where is it hunting? That sort of thing. They're just trying to learn as much as they can right now.
Weighty task, to be sure, but one which the fate of the realm and its people rests upon. I am under orders to lend Arisen all reasonable aid as they might require. I would pray you return this assistance in kind. Many hopes are pinned upon you, sir. It will be my honor to show you the ready charges for the worm hunt. The choice is yours.
So we have 4 different missions that we can accomplish right now for the worm hunt for Sir Maximilian here. I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these.
Certainly.
I don't know of any reason not to do that. So we can go through these and talk about them all. Deciphering the text here is actually, I think, the first one that I'm going to take on. So here's the details of this quest.
For you, though some is of a less urgent nature. The task at hand is just as I was setting about to find work for you, I came upon this slate. I know not its origin, nor its age, but the writing it bears is old. So old, our men could only read a few words. Dragon, scar, arisen, heart.
Interesting. So an ancient stone tablet has a few words carved into it. Dragon, scar, arisen, heart. That kind of applies to our situation a little bit, because the dragon ate our heart, left us with a scar on the chest. People now call us arisen because of that.
Know, all points to you, sir.
Yeah, see?
Just you should have it. If there's aught of import written there, we need to know. Your task is to find out.
So that's going to be an interesting mission. All of these are related to the story. All of them are critical, and you can't progress the game without accomplishing all of them. So, you know, we're going to end up doing all this stuff anyway. But it's going to be good to maybe start unearthing a bit more information and learning about the Arisen and who we actually are,
It will be my honor to show you the ready charges
why we're important and all that stuff.
The choice
All right,
is
so
yours.
next quest. Rowdy monster infestation.
A horde of goblins
Oops.
struck the fortress while it was still under repair, and they've claimed it.
Pretty straightforward. A goblin
Though the hold is
invasion.
remote, its importance to our southern defenses is critical.
It's off in the southwest somewhere.
We must reclaim it, and soon. The safety of the entire duchy rides on this matter. I would ask your help in resolving it. You have my thanks, sir.
So just what it sounds like. We need to go fight off a goblin invasion.
It will be my honor. The choice is yours.
Pretty straightforward.
Certainly.
Investigate a cult.
And here
This
are
one's
the
a bit
details.
more insidious, a bit more sinister.
I fear this task is no simple call to action, sir. It will no doubt take time and a more subtle approach than your other work. Perhaps you've heard of the society they call Salvation.
See, interesting, because Mason just told us about Salvation, although I do believe that this is a little bit out of order.
In truth, most of what we know is the product of such hearsay. They are a band of heretics who worship the dragon and welcome the perdition it brings.
A dragon-worshipping cult.
When the chaos come with the
That sounds
worm's
like fun.
arrival, their influence has grown. Ill news indeed. Pray, keep watch for good. I'll rest easy. It will be my honor. The choice is
And the
yours.
fourth quest.
Certainly.
Ada research
Then
team.
hereafter, by the Duke's decree, we spare no effort in gathering knowledge concerning the worm. As one arm of that pursuit, we aid the faith in their examination of ruins and relics. One such ruin has of late become home to monsters. We've received a request for escort. They've asked for you by name, sir. What my thanks, sir. Praise be.
Pretty straightforward.
Such is our duty.
The priest here, I guess, in the cathedral, is in charge of some research. They investigate ruins and artifacts and things like that. And one of the areas that they want to go investigate has monsters in it now. So if we go into the chapel there and talk, or the cathedral there, apologies, it's a bit larger than just a simple chapel. If we go in there and talk to him, he will begin a little escort quest where we take him to the ruins and fight off a bunch of monsters. Royal Banner. It's interesting item. Whee! I do kind of enjoy doing that, although it slows your movement considerably. Anyway, so first things first, the one that I am most focused on right now is going to be investigating the slate, the slab of rock that has those 4 words carved into it. Dragon, Scar, Heart, Arisen, in no particular order, because I don't actually remember the order. It seems like kind of an interesting rarity, an oddity. So, we do actually have a friend, for lack of a better term, who deals in such rarities, such odd items. So, I'm going to run down here. I don't know that I've actually talked to this guy. I think I have. I think I've bumped into him at some point. Also, I'm completely lost. Not actually completely lost. Here we go. So this is the Black Cat.
This shop bears a rather wholesome look to it.
Ancient
Precious
writings?
things gone
Aye,
lost
that's
or
simple
missing
enough.
have a way
Mountebank deals with
that is.
rarities and forgeries and stuff like that. So yeah,
What? Oh, you just want alt red? Let's have a look then.
let's see what he has to say about
As
it.
I said, simple enough. That's dragon there, then scar, arisen, and heart there. The rest is no script, friend, just flourish. This slate's no text. It's a cipher. Like as not, it holds some secret meaning to folk those words relate to. I'm not one of them. I fear that's all I can say, friend. I'm sure you'll find all you need.
Interesting.
Anytime.
So he says that the rest of the etchings in there are not actually words. Now, as for seeking further leads, I don't know the timing on this, like what time of day, but there is another NPC somewhere here in town who I can never, ever find, who can give us a bit more information. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and put that quest up as our active primary quests, if I can find it in here, because we have a lot of these. The Cipher. I'd be curious to know if any of my pawns have any information. Also, I should probably check the status of my pawns. So I'm 16, Lucy's 16, and then Antonio and Ilda are both only level 10. So I probably want to swap them out for some higher level pawns. Here's the guy who wants us to go get Salamet's grimoire for him. He's just kind of hanging out there. Yeah, I forget exactly where the character is that can show up here. There is someone, and they do know a bit about the slate, the text. Also, does this guy have a quest for us? What do you have to say?
Asking after salvation, are you? You'll be one of Mason's friends, no doubt. All too eager, that one. He's been questioning everyone with ears to listen.
So this is probably related to the quest that Mason gave us.
I've gained quest knowledge.
Or our first, or our story quest to investigate salvation. That's interesting. Well, I think I'm gonna go muck about with my pawns a little bit and tweak my party makeup slightly. So I'm gonna run and do that off camera, and I will be back in just a moment. And I'm back. I have 2 new pawns here. I have a fighter somewhere there, Magnus, and Milu, who is apparently like a halfling rogue. Someone was kind of going for. I don't know. He's itty bitty. He's actually the advanced version of the rogue class. He is a ranger, not a mere strider. So he's like just super crazy powerful offense at range, and kind of not very useful up close. So when I picked them up, they both said somebody in the fields west of Grand Soren knows a bit about the cipher. Also, red circle just popped up on our minimap, so we might have a few folks that we can talk to. But this NPC looks to know something.
Less than I know of modern script, and I never even learned me letters. Alas, I'm a man of the sword, not the quill. Ask a scrivener, or a counterfeiter else.
Ah, so he's the one who would point us towards the counterfeiter. Okay, so that's how you'd kind of know to go check out the Black Cat, to maybe get your first clue about the stone tablet here. Now there is the red circle that just popped up on our minimap. I'm betting that is the courier that we need to track down, because there's a courier who is running around town delivering all sorts of nonsense, and that is who we want to talk to. Where are you? There you are. Come back here. Ah. Come here. Whoops. Did not mean to... Well, stopped him at least.
Dragon, heart, and scar, is it? Does it have aught to do with that drawing? The figure of Hillfigure Null? You know it, aye? The man drawn upon the hill north of the capital? He bears a scar across the heart. Or the chest, at least.
I've learned what to do in this quest. Tis a fair
So,
distance to Hillfigure Knoll.
Hillfigure Knoll is a hill outside of town, and it has a giant person drawn or carved upon it. So, yeah, that's a decent clue. So that's actually where we're going to head next. Excuse me. So we're going to go check out this place. It's north of the town here, north of the city. And that's going to be kind of our first adventure beyond the normal path that we've been traveling so far. It's a bit further out of our way. It's not terribly far away, but, you know, we haven't explored very much. So this will be good for us. I don't know that we're going to make it all the way there in this video. But I'm going to go for another 5 minutes or so and see how much progress we can make. Especially if we get these bandits like this guy. Really not going to make it far. Oh. Yeah, you can see my archer friend there is just quite devastating with that bow. Unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with a bunch of bandits whichever way we go. There's an archer up kind of above. You can see above my head. They're like standing on top of my head. Up on that ruin there's an archer. A pretty good view, and if we head over this way to try to avoid that archer, there's more bandits here. It's just the nature of being near the capital area. There are bandits and highwaymen everywhere. Not a whole heck of a lot you can do about that. But that giant ice spike that you saw appear under them kind of launched some folks up in the air. That's the new ice spell that we taught Lucy and myself. However, I'm just going to stick with fireballs for now because they're quite effective. Oh boy. Igniting enemies is pretty useful. I would really like to not be killed by any of these archers. That would be the best. I could heal myself, but I could also just attack, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So here's Brontide. We haven't seen this spell yet. This is another new spell that I purchased. This is the Lightning Whip spell. So I summon a whip of lightning, and then I can swing it around. And I'm constantly draining stamina while I have this Lightning Whip out. So that is something you got to be careful of. Then you can cancel it at any time. Maybe. Can I? Nope. Oh, I guess... Oh, man. Well, that's my own fault. That's what I get for trying to show off. Well, that was fun. And with that, I am demoralized, and we are going to hold off and... Yeah, I'm going to hold off, and we're going to go deal with the trek towards Nullfigure Hill in the next video. Thank you for joining me, everybody, and I will see you next time. And hopefully it will be less disappointing than this video was.